Well, I haven't read the report. I've only been briefed by my lawyer.
What's he
I
told
was
you?
outside of Sydney. It was a sham inquiry. The conclusion was expected from their opening statement by the Assistant Counsel. We look forward that the DPP picks this up and takes it to the Supreme Court. That's the only way we will be able to bring on the evidence and the truth of what's behind this. This is nothing short of a political witch hunt against myself and McDonald, and it's backed up by the O'Farrell government.
Do you think you've been hung out to dry by your mates in Labor, people like John Robertson?
Look, John Robertson's irrelevant. He'll get his day later, him and Sam Dastiari, but that's not the time for that now. These people wore the carpet in my office when they wanted support, and even the Liberals had a watch of someone watching my office. Now, they're another day. All I can say, they're not true Labor leaders. They're cowards who do not stick up for the truth and the rights of an individual. We will pursue this through every court of the land to prove that we're innocent, we've done nothing wrong, and this has been just a political witch hunt to have Labor ex-ministers in the public eye being scandalised and victimised and vilified by, I don't blame the media, you're doing your job and you've got to report what has been said. But ICAC is a disgrace. It is supposed to look for corruption and truly go after corruption. What they did was nothing short than a star chamber for the media that put Labor in the front pages, two ex-ministers for months. And that's what O'Farrell do. If O'Farrell's got the guts and wants the truth, he should support the DPP by giving them more funds and more staff to look at this issue quickly and take it to the court. We want to have our day in court.
Are you still talking to Ian McDonald? Do you still communicate
No,
with him?
I haven't, and I don't think it's appropriate that we should talk while we're both under the gaze of this sham inquiry. But Ian McDonald, as far as my relationship with him, was a professional person, and he was a good minister. Anyone else that wants to say anything, they have their own opinions, but take it to court and prove otherwise.
Do you still stand to make a bucket load of money, though, at
Look,
Cherrydale?
that's my family's entitlement. If we bought that land as a retreat for the family, we got caught up not by our own choice, by what the Department of Mining did, and we're entitled to better our position as far as the land is concerned and make sure that there's no mine over the top of our property without us being involved in what happens.
Do you think this will have federal implications, this inquiry?
Look, this is what O'Farrell wants, and this is what the Liberal Party want. They want to put this as a highlight of New South Wales corruption. Where is the corruption? You guys read the transcripts. You guys have probably read the report. Why weren't we asked about the so-called agreement? I was never questioned about that. Not a murmur came in that inquiry about an agreement. All of a sudden, the excuse is that we have done some agreement. Where is it? When? What's involved? What's part of that agreement?
What about Moses? Because he hasn't come out clean either.
Look, no, every lawyer will tell you, don't come out and say much. This will go to court, and we want to see it to court. And if the DPP don't take it to court, we will. Because I'm not going to have this hanging over my head. I've given 20 years of service to the New South Wales Parliament, and I am a very respected person by all those that dealt with me. And I am ashamed of some of my colleagues in the Labor Party who become like a lynching mob just to protect themselves, hoping that they can look clean in all this. There is nothing in this. There is nothing in this inquiry that finds a smoking gun against anyone. Now, it is up to the courts where we will get proper rules of evidence. We will have a judge that will be able to listen to the evidence, that we will be able to bring in witnesses, because ICAC was very selective. It didn't bring a witness that would say anything against what their view was. And that's the way ICAC operates. I think it's a blight on the state of New South Wales that you are innocent before you're proven guilty. That's the basis of our law.
How has this whole ordeal affected your family?
Very badly. It's affected the boys, their business, their relationships, and it's done tremendous damage. And yet there's not a shred of evidence. Now, how do we get compensated for that? How does one retrieve his reputation? I have never done the wrong thing by anyone. And ask the sleazy world of politics. Everyone I've been associated with will testify that I keep my word and I honour my word. All of a sudden, they become a lynch mob. John Robertson and Sam Dastyari. I cannot believe these people who I supported, I mentored, I got them in their jobs. They don't give me the benefit that every Australian should have. You're innocent until proven guilty. ICAC's only a reporter. It'll only inquire and report. It is the judiciary, our judicial law, that'll assess whether we're guilty or innocent.
Do you regret that you had so much power? Because you said there was a trail between your office and the rest of Parliament, that people came in and out of your office all the time. Do you regret that you wielded so much power during that time?
Not at all. I did what I had to do, and that was more or less be the peacemaker, the guy that can sort things out amongst individuals and different factions. I had a good relationship with most of the left, and I worked to benefit many other people. I didn't get much out of all this. I was only a minister from 99, reluctantly. Carr put me in as a minister from 99 to 2003. And why doesn't ICAC have an inquiry about famous meeting after the elections of 2003, Carr and myself? Of course, Carr wouldn't want to talk about that. And for him, after 11 years of service, for him to come to put the boot in, that's very un-Australian. But Carr's very odd.
You say you didn't get much out of it, though, but you got a better house than most of them, don't you?
What's my house? I had wealth before I went into Parliament. It didn't do me any good because I was looked at as a leper simply because I had wealth. And why would I go into politics? I went into politics because I felt I could change. I had a very strong view of what should happen in this country and what should happen serving people, and I was prepared, after making wealth for myself and for my family, I was prepared to go in and put my bit in there instead of criticising from outside. But I'll tell you, any person that has wealth and goes into politics in Australia's got problems.
So are you corrupt, Mr. Obeid?
I am not corrupt, and I will prove that in a court of law by a judge and proper rules of evidence. And even this inquiry with 120 witnesses, there is no evidence anywhere that anyone's acted corruptly. But ICAC wasn't looking for that. They wanted the spectacle. Their mission was to blame and shame and show Labor is corrupt and ugly. And the morons from the Labor Party in Macquarie Street fell for it. They should have been asking questions. Okay, fine, you can't do much during the ICAC inquiry, but surely to goodness, everyone that reads English can see what the outcome of this inquiry and the conclusion of this report.